the summer of 2016, I was living alone in a quiet house in Parma, Ohio. The neighborhood was peaceful, mostly occupied by older residents who kept early hours. Exactly the kind of calm I wanted after leaving Cleveland. But on the night of July 4, that tranquility shattered. I had just finished dinner around 8 p.m. and was relaxing on the couch when the first loud pops echoed down the street. At first I dismissed them as typical 4th of July fireworks, but they grew louder, closer, relentless. By 10 p.m. my windows rattled, and my dog Charlie was pacing anxiously. Frustrated, I called the non-emergency police line to report the noise. The officer assured me they'd send someone. About 30 minutes later, the fireworks stopped. Relieved, I settled back in, assuming the police had intervened. But as I lay in bed around midnight, an eerie silence settled over the neighborhood until I heard it. A soft, deliberate knock on my back door. No one ever used that door. My pulse spiked as I sat up. Straining to listen, the knocking stopped, but then footsteps crunched around the side of the house, pausing near my bedroom window. A slow, deliberate tap on the glass sent ice through my veins. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, whisper in my situation to the dispatcher. By the time the police arrived, the intruder was gone, but fresh footprints in the grass beneath my window confirmed my fear. back gate, which I'd forgotten to lock, had given them easy access. Officers increased patrols, and the next day, I installed security cameras. I never found out who it was, but the timing, right after my noise complaint, felt too coincidental. Years later, I still double-check every lock. A few years ago, on July 4, I watched Chicago's fireworks from my bedroom window in Logan Square. My wife had gone to bed early, but I stayed up, mesmerized by the bursts of color. Across the street, the Riley house was unusually dark. Odd, since Mr. Riley usually loved setting off loud fireworks. Around 9 p.m., movement caught my eye. A shadow glided past their living room window, then another. Lean, crouched figures that didn't match the Riley's bills. I dismissed it, blaming the erratic lighting. But later, a firework illuminated their front door. Wide open, no one in sight. Uneasy, I considered texting them, but talked myself out of it. By midnight, the street was quiet again, their door shut. I convinced myself I'd imagined the whole thing. At dawn, flashing lights woke me. Police swarmed the Riley house. Mrs. Riley sat on the steps, wrists bandaged, voice raw. "They tied us up," she whispered. The intruders had struck during the fireworks peak, using the noise as cover. They'd high-tied the family in the bathroom and ransacked the house. The worst part? I'd seen them leave, casual, unhurried, while I'd been distracted by the sky. Security footage later confirmed it. Two masked figures, one pausing to press a finger to his lips, directly at my camera. Back in 2006, our Bethlehem neighborhood held its annual 4th of July block party. That year, a stranger named Travis showed up, claiming to be a friend of a neighbor's cousin. He blended in, laughing, helping with decorations, but something felt off. By sunset, Mr. Watkins's wallet vanished. Then 8-year-old Sarah disappeared. Panic erupted. We soon learned Travis wasn't who he claimed. Security footage showed him lurking near the kids, slipping the wallet into his pocket. Police tracked him down just in time. Sarah was found unharmed in a storage room, bound but alive. Travis, real name Richard Morse, was a drifter with a history of petty theft. That night, he'd escalated to kidnapping. After that, our block parties changed. Sign-in sheets, volunteer badges, floodlights. Sometimes danger doesn't announce itself with a growl. It walks in with a smile and a six-pack, blending into the crowd. That lesson stuck with me on a warm Pennsylvania night under the glow of fireworks and cicadas. The summer after that incident, the neighborhood was still on edge. Parents kept their kids within arm's reach, and no one trusted a familiar face without double-checking. Even the smallest things, a stranger lingering too long near PE, dessert table, an unfamiliar car idling at the curb, sent ripples of tension through the crowd. One evening, as the sun dipped below the rooftops, I noticed a man standing near the edge of the party. He wasn't doing anything suspicious, just watching. Hands in his pockets, but the way he scanned the crowd, his gaze, lingering just a second too long on the kids playing tag, made my skin prickle. I nudged my dad and pointed him out. Within minutes, 2 neighbors casually positioned themselves nearby, keeping an eye on him. A third went to check with the block captain. Turned out, the man was a cousin of the Johnsons, visiting from out of town. But no one took chances anymore. That's the thing about fear. Once it sinks its teeth into you, it never really lets go. Years later, I still catch myself scanning faces at gatherings, watching for the person who doesn't quite belong. And when I see parents laughing, relaxed, their kids darting freely between lawn chairs, I have to remind myself, most people are exactly who they say they are, but it only takes one stranger with bad intentions, one unlocked gate, one moment of distraction. That's all it ever takes. The 4th of July after Sarah's kidnapping, our block party felt different. The fairy lights still twinkled, the grill still smoked, but now parents stood in loose circles around the kids' area, their laughter a little too loud, their eyes constantly scanning. I watched Mr. Delgado subtly test the weight of a baseball bat while flipping burgers, his gaze never leaving the street. That's when I noticed the woman. She stood near the dessert table, politely declining a slice of apple pie. Mid-40s, dressed in a floral sundress that looked just slightly too new for a backyard barbecue. What caught my attention was how she kept checking her phone. Not the quick glance of someone expecting a message, but deliberate swipes, like she was timing something. I moved closer, under the pretense of grabbing lemonade. That's when I saw the van. An unmarked white panel truck idled halfway down the block, its side door slightly ajar. The woman's eyes flicked toward it every few seconds. My throat went dry. Before I could decide if I was being paranoid, Mrs. Riley, who'd installed security cameras after her own ordeal, marched straight up to the woman and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Hi, I don't think we've met. Are you with the Sanders family?" The woman's smile froze. "Oh, I'm just..." That's when the van's door slid shut with a metallic clang.